one of the longest unprotected borders on the planet. Then you got the Canadian border on the north. I mean, is it just we have to count on better intelligence and security, because if they're going to cross, they're going to cross.
Well, I think it's both of those. We need to have better intelligence. We have good intelligence as it is, but there's always room for improvement. And as far as securing it, we need to have our agents out there on the front line instead of leaving large gaps like there are right now. We need to have our guys out there protecting the country as opposed to doing other duties, a lot of admin work and going home early because they're trying to cut the pay.
So what's your concern, that they can blend in with a wave of migrants already coming across the border and then just find themselves here? Because I'm thinking if you're going to stage a serious terrorist attack, you can't just come across with a backpack. It's going to be more complicated than that, and the more complicated it is, the better chance your guys would have of stopping them.
Well, I guess, it can come across many ways. Obviously, the easiest way to bring it across would be through the river, maybe in pieces. And to assimilate into the crowd here, at least in our area, you're looking at a matter of less than a minute to get into a heavily populated area and just blend in. And we have areas that are, 20, 30 mile stretches of uncovered areas. So getting through with something big, they do it with drug loads, 1,000 pounds at a time without being detected. So I don't see it as too far-fetched of a scenario.
Well, that's a great, unfortunately, it's a great analogy, isn't it? It's already happening with drugs, and it has to happen in mass quantities or there's no money in it. So it's being done now, and if it could be done with one thing, it could be done with another. That's kind of scary. Do your guys out there ever encounter people who are not from Mexico, Central, South America, who are actually from parts of the world where there may be Muslim extremists?
Oh, yes. We've caught many from Somalia, from Ethiopia. We've caught them from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, and Jordan. We've caught them all. I think there's very few countries that we haven't seen anybody from.
And the majority of those are just like anybody else, they just want to build a better life for themselves, they just want to get into the United States.
Yeah, at least from what we know, the majority of them are just looking for a better way of life, or they're fleeing some type of violence. But there are those out there that, we don't catch everybody. I would say that the Border Patrol roughly catches maybe 30% of what comes across that border, even though the administration will tell you we're at an 80-90% rate. Realistically, it's about a 30% rate.
So the people from those parts of the world that you're encountering, they know that it's going to be very difficult to fly into a U.S. airport and then disappear, but they figure if they can get into Central South America and then walk across, then they can vanish like so many hundreds of thousands and millions have already done.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very porous border.